Hello dear members, and welcome to a new edition of HTA Global News. We will continue with the presentation of the different providential organizations that were in the spotlight during the recent events commemorating the centenary of the birth of True Father and the 60th anniversary of True Parents Holy Wedding. After presenting the ISPC and the IAPP in our previous editions, this issue will be dedicated to the Interreligious Association for Peace and Development and the World Clergy Leadership Conference. We therefore invite you to relive the historical moments of this international organization for interreligious harmony, which began in the 1970s. Founded in 2005 by True Parents, UPF is leading the United Nations Renewal Movement through an international peace network in 194 countries. True Parents, who have revealed that human selfishness and self-righteousness are unconnected to the will of the Creator, advocate that we should become one family under God. This love which unites believers from around the world in a new paradigm that transcends religious denominations led us to the creation of the Interreligious Association for Peace and Development and the World Clergy Leadership Conference, which today steers us towards the realization of a world of one family under God. As global peace-loving citizens, True Parents have been fully engaged in religious harmony movements since the early 1970s. They warned the world about the rise of atheism and materialism and strove to transmit the will and heart of God the Creator. In the aftermath of the terrorist attack of September 11 that hinted at the Third World War, they spread a message calling for peace in the world by gathering thousands of Jews, Muslims, and Christians in the Jerusalem Peace March. A world of peace cannot be achieved merely through political agreements nor through materialism. Responding to True Parents' message, calling them to achieve a world of peace, religious leaders in the United States, with a vision of establishing an international organization transcending nations, created the American Clergy Leadership Conference, ACLC. Building on half a century of interfaith activities, the Interfaith Association for Peace and Development was launched on the 13th of November 2017. 400 religious leaders from 60 countries as well as the ACLC members gathered in large rally of 80,000 people in support of the peaceful reunification of the Korean Peninsula, outlining the role and mission of religious leaders in achieving world peace.
This is like heaven, is what I would think that this would be, is that all of these different people have come and we share and we're united all on the idea of peace and that we can have it.
Later in 2018, national chapters were inaugurated in 70 countries, involving the participation of millions of faithful believers from Christian Apostolic Association of Zimbabwe and the Revelation Church of God in South Africa. In 2019, through the restoration of 7 religious congregations, around 2,000 religious leaders from 98 countries took part in the IAPD General Assembly at the 2020 World Summit, marking the centenary of the birth of True Father and the 60th anniversary of True Parents Holy Wedding. They expressed their support for the establishment of an international organization reflecting the vision of True Parents in the IAPD.
That His Spirit is here and He is with us for this entire conference, a one-world society where mankind will be judged by their character, not the color of their skins or their ethnicities or their cultures or their castes.
We come from a state where religious leaders have been obsessed with their own beliefs. And God's plan is that we all come together despite our differences. And coming together through peace and love, we can all share our wisdom and unite and worship only one God.
Prayer is the main strength of religious people. Carrying lit candles, the religious leaders offer sincere prayers for the peace both on the Korean Peninsula and in the world, expressing this desire through the adoption of the IAPD Peace Declaration, which aims to spread the vision of a heavenly unified world.
나는 여러분들을 믿고 싶습니다. 특히 오늘 여기 모인 세계에서 모인 성직자, 여러분은 이 시대에 하늘이 준비한 의인입니다. WCLC 창립이야말로 하늘 부모님의 꿈, 인류의 소원을 빠른 시간 안에 이루어드릴 수 있는 축복인 것을 기억하기 바랍니다.
On the other hand, in October 2019, Trumada established the Korean Clergy Leadership Conference, KCLC, with the hope that it will work closely with the ACLC. Then in December 2019, she founded the World Clergy Leadership Conference, WCLC, a faith-based organization composed mainly of Christian leaders, and it held its General Assembly on February 5th in the presence of 1,500 people. Furthermore, the participation of representatives from Korean evangelical churches strengthened the value of this event.
Mother Moon teaches us we are believers and implementers of the universal God's will for the earth. Even though this global community vision is born out of the rudiments of Christianity, Christianity now is simply the religious tool the universal God is using to bring all interpretations of his divinity to sit at the same table for the salvation of our planet, the elimination of starvation, and world peace.
After the welcoming words of Bishop Noel Jones, who underlined the fundamental mission of religion, several religious leaders gave speeches full of deep insights and spirituality, explaining their devotion to others in the fulfillment of their mission.
우리는 가정연합과 장로교와 오순절교회와 감리교회와 모든 것을 초월하는 교파의 무지개가 이루어지기를 원합니다. 그곳에 참다운 조화가 있고 그곳에 참다운 평화가 있습니다. God bless you. Thank you.
And that if we work with WCLC strongly as the Abrahamic family, joining those who have tracked in direction to God from the other faiths as Reverend Sun Young Moon announced and Dr. Hachahan Moon is living out, then brothers and sisters, we will see the fulfillment of the Abrahamic blessing throughout all of the world, and the curse will be no more. That's when we will have world peace.
Get away from religion and get into the spiritual part that is really the heart of God. I want to be able to, and I do, participate in the Ramadan fast, the Passover meals, the Jewish Passover meals. I participate. I can go to a Muslim temple and worship, to a synagogue and worship, anywhere and worship, because we worship one God.
World peace will not be achieved by means of political ideologies oriented toward power, nor by any initiative that relies on physical force. World peace will only be accomplished when all of us share in God's love and truth and put them into practice.
After Reverend Kim Gi-hoon's closing address, participants who shared the WCLC vision of a heavenly unified world prayed in unison while holding hands as God's children, pledging to make a new beginning as they threw paper airplanes filled with their various resolutions. Just like thousands of rivers which flow into the ocean, we are all united behind the will and heart of God, our Creator. The Interreligious Association for Peace and Development and the World Clergy Leadership Conference will awaken the original nature and spirituality of the world's citizens and guide them to become one united family under God.